Day has come where we are about to install our cabinet doors.
After what seems like forever, we're finally tackling our cabinet doors and making some other upgrades in our Ford Transit cargo to campervan conversion. We're doing it on a low budget, using salvaged materials as much as possible. We're excited for a huge transformation. Plus, we're excited to share a creative door design for our furry travel companion. Don't go anywhere. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already and check out the latest stage of our build. Hi everyone, we're finally back in the van working on our build again. It's been quite a while since we've made a lot of progress. Sometimes life just doesn't go as planned. We've had just kind of been busy with work stuff, and as some of you may know, Steve's dad just recently passed away, so we had an unexpected trip up north. Now we're back in South Florida. It's a hot day. We decided to come out and try to make a little progress. A few months ago, we started looking for wood for our cabinets, and we had found some, quite a while back, but then we went back and looked again. We had a hard time finding good wood. The last place I think we went first was Lowe's, and we couldn't find the nice quality wood that we want for the cabinet doors. Then we went looking at 84 lumber, and we couldn't find anything there. So now we're back, and just earlier this week, we found some random large pieces of wood along the side of the road on trash day. I think they were actually pieces that were part of a bed, but we picked those up. We think we're going to be able to use those in here, and we've scrounged around our garage for any other smaller pieces of wood we have left that's nice quality, and we're going to see if we can come up with some cabinet doors. We're checking out all this hodgepodge of wood that we have picked up and collected over the last year. We're measuring to see what existing materials we can use and what we'll still need to buy in order to finish the job. These doors were on a big piece of furniture that our neighbor was getting rid of. The rest of the doors and stuff didn't fit, but there were these, and they fit over these openings. I think we'll just have to trim them. It's a little dirty. Just trim the width a little bit. Unfortunately, we only have 3. We have one more piece of wood that's this width that I think we could just do on this last door, and I think once we paint it, it'll be fine. Yesterday we got all the dimensions for the cupboard doors, and today we're going to cut them all. And now for the exciting part, the closet door. We weren't able to cut some of the wood over at our neighbor's because we didn't have the width to work, so we brought the pieces back here to our garage, and now we're gonna cut the rest of the piece. And Steve's gotten pretty smart and come up with another MacGyver way of doing this. So he has fashioned this guide for our circular saw. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. Looks pretty good to me. We're at Lowe's getting the last pieces for our cabinet doors. Does it look okay?
This looks like it's going to be a decent piece. Good year.
Tastes good, huh? Getting wood for the cabinets. So this is exciting, getting the last piece of wood for the cabinets. We can't wait to have this done. We are back at it again. We're back at our neighbor's to use the table saw, hopefully for the last time, as we cut our last 2 boards for the cabinet doors.
Alright, so we cut the width. Now we're going to cut the height. And what was the measurement on that?
29 inches and 3/4. 29 and 3/4.
Quarter.
Measure a bajillion times, cut once. feel like I'm accomplishing much here. This wood is like had some kind of finish on it that was really shiny. So I've been sanding and sanding with the rough grit sandpaper. It still feels like all smooth and shiny. So I don't know if I'm accomplishing anything. As you can see, the wood we're dealing with, it's all very different. These white pieces came from the part of a bed that we picked up on the side of the road. It's kind of like a pressed board type material. But the nice thing with that is it's super smooth. I did rough up the glossy like paint, hoping that the paint will adhere okay to that. Then this is the wood we actually bought, which is actually a little bit more rough, but I've been working on that. And then we have these pieces that are a little bit more cream color, that have these layers and a little bit more imperfection on the edges. These are from a piece of furniture that someone put out. They were the shelves in an entertainment center. And this was a scrap wood piece that we had laying around that we cut. And that's pretty decent. I might need to fill in here yet where this knot is. So the beauty with all of this is it was all free, even though it's all different. We think it's actually going to work okay. And I think once it's painted, you won't even know the difference. One more piece finished. On to the next. Now it's time for what I think is the most fun and creative part of the project. We're cutting out access for our Lady Gray to get into her litter area. There's a kitty ear.
Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Look at that kitty. And now for painting. I'm priming the doors first with Kills. I'm hoping it'll create a nice barrier between the wood and paint so nothing bleeds through. And also so the paint adheres better. We have a package from one of our subscribers who has become a friend. The suspense is killing me. Oh, she made us something.
She made that?
I'm sure she did. She makes quilts. Deb Berkevile.
Wow.
I'm gonna guess that she made this for us. Audra and Steve to Van Life. Seems like with all the van lifers we made a connection. Can't wait to meet you in person, do a little traveling together. Here's to van life. Cheers. Hope this goes with your beach theme. Hugs, Deb Berkebile. Oh, look at this.
That is top
That
notch.
is so awesome. Look at this.
That's a quality item, Clark.
That is, it's perfect, like for our beach theme.
Huh, that's cool.
Thank you, Deb. This is awesome. Now I'm just sanding the edges of our little cat cutout. It's unfortunate with the jigsaw how it kind of messes up a lot of the edge. So I'm going to work on sanding this, and then I'll probably fill this with our wood putty or spackle or something before I prime it. So I used this rough sandpaper, it's 80 coarse, to just kind of get rid of the stuff that was really rough, and also where the lines weren't exactly where I wanted them. I sanded a little bit harder with this. Now I'm using this smoother, finer grit sandpaper. Not sure what, I think it's 100. And I'm just going back over and making sure it's all ready for painting. So I have spackled that in and resanded on both sides. Hopefully that looks a little bit better. And next I'm gonna paint it. A lot of people would probably say I'm not doing this correctly, but instead of worrying about pouring the right amount of paint into the tray and then having to clean it up when I'm done, it's so much easier to use this size roller to dip it in and just kind of spread it out on the wood. So I think it's working out pretty well and saving a lot of hassle. I'm back in the van. Before we can put our cabinet doors up, I need to paint the bottom cabinet here. We had put it in quickly before one of our trips, and then we never got it primed and painted, so that's going to be my next task. So here goes. I used a small paintbrush to do some of the edges already. And just like that, it's all primed.
Alright, the day has come where we are about to install our cabinet doors.
Yay!
After what feels like a lifetime of not having cabinet doors, it's going to feel different, certainly look different to have them up. Here we go. To start, we are figuring out the placement of the doors. We had held them up before we cut them all before, so now we're just figuring out the height of the first one from the top of the cabinet, and then we're going to draw a straight line across the very top so they're all consistent when we put all of them up, and we don't have to measure each time. Come varying more doors. So I have marked these with blue tape to show which side's the back. I picked out the sides that seem to be nicer. So the other thing, because it's so humid here, we need to be careful not to stack them because they tend to stick together and then the paint gets messed up. Once we get them up and we've done all the work, probably getting them dirty and dinged up, then I'll do a final coat of paint to make them all pretty. Okay, I think we have it measured out exactly where we want the doors to sit. Got our pencil lines drawn, give us a good idea. Make sure the doors are level as best we can to one another. Now we just need to decide where we want the hinges to sit. And then once we got that established, I'll attach those to the doors, and then we can go in for the final install. Cabinet door. Yay! Wow. What a difference. Yeah. Having even just one up. It's a little finished now, although now we need to touch up the paint, but That's going to be a game changer, folks. What's behind door number 1? Clothes. Coming together, one door at a time.
We're doing all the hinges 2 1/4 inches from the top and bottom. So this is what we've been using. We like this kind of finish because it matches our sink and our puck lights. It's a satin nickel. And after looking at Amazon and Home Depot and Lowe's, we found these 10 packs that seemed to be the cheapest with the look that we liked. So our second door didn't come out perfect. It's a little bit lower here than here. We probably should have measured from the base of the cabinet to the base of the door, but we didn't. So now we are making some measurements over here to make sure that we are level from the bottom, because we've determined that that's probably the most important thing. Now on to door number 3.
Alright, so I think we're pretty good on the top line. Our side line is pretty good. What is it?
3 doors down.
Okay. Alright. All the doors are installed.
Yay!
Woohoo!
That's so exciting. Getting the first set of doors up was pretty exciting, but now I think this is the most exciting. Or maybe they all kind of are. It's close competition, but this is pretty big because we're now covering an eyesore, the cat litter area. On these bigger doors, we're doing 3 inches from the top and the bottom versus the 2 1/4 that we did on the smaller doors. To make it easier this time, we found wood that was the right height at the bottom to act as a support, so we know that the door is in the right spot height-wise, and that makes it a little bit easier. Oh,
That's nice.
yeah.
That'll give us plenty of access to get the battery in and out, deal with the cat litter as necessary. Nice.
Here goes our special kitty door. How's that? What we've done is we folded up a piece of cardstock to kind of shimmy the door so the gap between the 2 doors is now even. Nice.
Alright, time for the big one.
Our closet door in all its glory. Oh my goodness, what a difference that makes. That's incredible. This is where the unevenness of a van shows its true colors. Where it was so hard to get things square. Now when we're trying to put on square doors, it shows how much other things are not square. So then we kind of have to cheat things to kind of trick the eye and make it look like things are square.
About 1 5/8, and then 1 11/16.
Okay.
So
I'll fold that again.
Yep.
Alright. That looks pretty dang good now, especially compared to how it looked when we first put it up. It looked pretty caterwonky before.
Sometimes you just gotta cheat it just a tiny bit to trick the eye.
So we're doing the top and bottom 3 inches from top and bottom, just like we did with the other lower cabinet doors. And then we're going to measure and find center 2 more between these.
I'm close, using my dumb math. 21 3/8 to here, 21 3/8 to here. This section then is 21 1/8. Dang, that's pretty good for a couple amateurs.
I hope our mirror will fit now with like how much these come out. I guess we'll find out. Ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Time to install the closet door.
Did I hear you correctly say you didn't want to see the junk anymore? There you go.
Ooh, what a big difference. It's awesome. Yay. Love it.
So, now it'll be interesting once we take our next trip. What new creaks and rattles we hear. I'm sure this is going to introduce a whole new chorus.
Hopefully the door won't fall off.
Right.
So I think about last one on the uppers. Not bad. It's a little weird looking with like 2 sets of hinges here, but not like you can do anything about it, so. Now that all the doors are in, I'm giving some of them another coat and doing some touch-ups.
Gonna put a shelf here. Here. While Audra is busy painting, I am thinking about putting a shelf in the cabinet underneath the kitchen sink. So I cut out a template and just trying to figure out where the best spot is to have a shelf. And I think we determined we're going to do it right about there, so we can have a container underneath, put one on top, and then we may also put a shelf here. Once again, I'm going to use these little shelf brackets to hold up the shelf.
Nice. Look at that.
Working on putting the handles up. Thinking that probably would look good about like that.
I love it.
Or maybe like that.
I like it the other way better.
Like that.
No.
So seriously, thinking probably about here. Audra is very particular about her paint job, and I think she's coming to realize that any bit of construction work is going to ding this up, and she's going to have to repaint it.
His hands are just dirty. He needs to wash his hands.
What she's saying is I don't bathe properly.
He's already marked it up here.
Every little
here.
ding.
You just marked it up there.
Oh, my paint job.
Now I'm going to have to do it all over again. So, you need to wash your hands.
You need to zip it.
This is what you don't usually see when you watch our build videos. Now he's using his dirty sock.
I'm going to use a sock here.
His dirty sock.
As a cushion.
To get it more dirty.
Here goes nothing. Moment of truth.
It's amazing how it messes it up. Made it all nasty. We just measured the next points and now we're going to drill the next 2 holes. Alright, we have the first set of doors finished. And now I have marked the second set and we're going to drill the holes for these. Now for the last door.
One thing's for certain is we need a new tape measure.
It's never been good. As long as we've had it, it doesn't stay, not retracted. What's the opposite of retracted?
Extracted.
That's right. It's never stayed out, whatever that's called. And all the little marks are wearing off, and it's only like, what, a year old? We have the holes measured here, and we're gonna basically repeat and repeat and repeat to finish the cabinets. So we'll catch you later. And that does it. I'm putting what you call doohickeys, that's the proper term, on the doors, up in the top and bottom corners. And what a difference it makes. Ready? Listen to this. Okay, now ready for the ones that aren't finished? Uh-huh. That makes a big difference. The next thing we're going to do with the cabinet doors is install some latches.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see if I can work a pencil around and just draw where the holes for the screw should be.
Will this work, folks? That is the question.
There goes nothing.
It's another day of the van build. Steve has been busy doing the latches in here. He did a few the other day and he's doing more today. It's a little different in this situation because there's walls in between each cupboard. So yesterday he was able to reach around behind and mark where these go on the door. We can't do that today, so we're going to try to get a little creative. I think we're going to try to chalk first. I don't know if that's going to work because it doesn't maybe stick out enough. But we'll see if we close the door, if that'll leave a mark on the door or not. I would do it right around those holes. Can we put something behind it to help push it out? Or let's just see if it works. I don't think that's going to do anything. Well,
a little bit. So at least we got the bottom hole, I believe. So that should be good enough. Once we get the bottom one in, obviously the top one will be where it lands. So
I guess we got lucky with that.
We'll give it a shot. Alright, so I got the bottom screw in on this one. And just by giving it a little bit of a test run, I think that did it. So I'm going to go ahead with some confidence and put the top one in as well. Okay, got the top one screwed in. Now for the moment of truth. Think I did it. It's a good year.
It's another day, a hot day in southern Florida, and today we're finishing up the cabinet doors finally, and we are putting up a mirror, so that'll be nice. It's super exciting to finally have all these details coming together. It feels so different in here. It's amazing after a whole year, actually more than a year, of driving around with it partially finished. Look guys, we have a mirror. So we're going to finish putting up more of these.
Okay.
And then we're done with that. Nice. Next project is putting up a toilet paper holder. Alright, so we have the holder, or the brackets for it. And there is the toilet paper. And yes, this is the correct way to do your toilet paper. And it works. Look at that. Now hopefully when we're driving that won't come unrolled.
Okay, up next, going to install a light switch right about in here. That's going to control these lights. On the inside of the closet, what feels like about 10 years ago, I ran this conduit that has the wire in it already. So need to cut out a box here, run the wires through on this side, through the box, and we'll be off and running. Hello. Alright, on this electrical line that I have in the conduit, I'm going to feed it through this box. In order to do that, I need to break this tab right here. And then this conduit will sit pretty nicely on top of the box.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we are super excited to finally have doors on our cabinets. I think it's a huge transformation in the look and the function. We no longer have to worry about things falling out of our cabinets. And we have some extra features. We now have a full-length mirror. And for the non-human, we have our fabulous kitty door. It's her entrance to get into the litter box, which we keep back there. And for the humans, we now have a toilet paper roll holder. So they may not be the fanciest doors, but we're pretty proud of them. They were very low cost. For all of the doors in here, except for these two doors down below the sink, we used salvaged wood or wood that we already had around the house. So the total cost for all the doors was only $20. Then for the materials, these poles were only $17, so that came to less than $1 each. The hinges were a little less than $40, that's $2 each. And then the latches, a little expensive but worth it to keep everything contained and secured. They were about $25, which came to about $2 each for each set. We've included links to all the materials we've used for the cabinets in the description for the video. Let us know what you think, leave us a comment, hit that like button if you enjoyed watching today. If you haven't already, check out our other videos. We have playlists on our van build and our travels. So thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next week.